Okay, it's 9 a.m. We'll call the meeting to order. Ask clerk to call the roll.
Jim Sheeline. Jim? Are we muted? Jim Sheeline?
Having IT difficulties. There he is.
Jim Sheeline is here.
Okay. Tim Bivens,
Here.
Tom Kitson, Mike Book,
Here.
Nancy Naylor,
Present.
and Jennifer Dallas. Here. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody from the public that wishes to make any comment? Nobody. We move on. And we need a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Moved by Naylor. Second by Book. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Motion carries. Treasurer's monthly financial report. All
right. Well, I've got a couple of things first, and then Reed's going to go over the numbers for you real quick. The first thing I have is most of these guys have already heard this a few times, but W-2s are available in our office if you want to stop down and get them. They're also available on MyPay if you signed up for that. And to sign up for that, you just log into MyPay, go to your profile, and you click I consent to see W-2s online. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to bring up that's more of a discussion point for you guys from the board's perspective, and I wanted to start in finance, was IMRF and how we calculate that expense and how the employees benefit from that. One of the calculations is your cafeteria plan or your health insurance is first taken away from your gross wages, and then your IMRF is calculated. There is basically an available resolution from IMRF that says if your board approves it, you can start the employees can have their IMRF calculated on their total gross wage instead of the subtraction of the health insurance. So it would be an extra cost to the county. It would also be a slightly little more, the employee would also pay a little more their portion of it. Back of the napkin calculation is about $2,500 a month to the county, between $2,500 and $3,000. But the benefit is at the end of the career, the employee has a better pension value than what they have today. Most, I'll say private companies, when they calculate a pension or a 401k, it's on a gross, not on that net, if you will. So this just gets us in line with what is happening in the world today. It's a discussion point for you guys that I want you to think about, and I can bring it up more formally next month because it's not really on our agenda, but I do believe it's something that is a benefit for our employees and for the county too, really. I realize there's a little bit of a cost there, but it does help retain employees as well. So just take that for discussion. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask. And then Reed's going to go over numbers for you, but that's really all I had for you right now.
Yeah. And Tim?
Yes.
So Paul and I had a discussion about this last week, and I had asked him to put together, a not PowerPoint, but a spreadsheet to show what that cost to the county would be so we can anticipate that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, jump into the numbers. Hope everybody had a chance to review the reports, kind of go over high level. I guess the big thing to point out if you're comparing our expenditures from last December to this December, we're going to see a big decrease, and that is basically entirely due to last December being a 3 pay period month and this December being a 2 pay period month. From an expenditure side of things, we're right where we anticipated we would be. The one that kind of looks odd is county general. It's our liability insurance that we always pay either in December or January, comes out at the beginning of the year, so it kind of throws off that remaining balance calculation for the first few months of the year, but that was anticipated. That's when it always comes out. A few things to note on the revenue side. Sales and income taxes are down compared to last year. The majority of those are, just a little bit down, like not even 1% probably. The big one that's down is PPRT, which we knew about and anticipated. So that is in line with what the state had projected for us. The only other two items I think that are maybe a little different from a revenue side of things, fines and fees are down a little bit this year compared to last year, about 100,000. That is entirely due to a zoning permit that we received last December. It was about $104,000. So, it's hard to anticipate when those come in throughout the year, but and I know that there has been a change in terms of how we are taking in some of those permit fees. Before, we would just get a big fee and then we'd have costs associated that we would pay for out of pocket. Now we are setting up a consulting fund where the companies that we're dealing with will basically give us a down payment that doesn't show up in our revenue until we start incurring some of those expenses, and then we get to basically recognize that revenue as those expenditures happen. And then at the end of the day, if there's any money left over in that consulting fund, it actually gets returned back to the project owners. So change in kind of our process for that one due to, I think, an ordinance in 2023. And also just timing of when we're getting some of those fees in. The last one that looks a little different would be the services. They are up significantly in December of this year, almost entirely due to a delay in us receiving reimbursement from the state for probation salary reimbursements. They allowed us to calculate some things. So they wanted us to basically resubmit some stuff to get us a higher return for some of those salaries. And so it just took a little bit longer. So basically there's 3 months worth of those salary reimbursements in December, which is like close to 100,000 when maybe we're normally getting 40. The last thing in there that is different from last year would be the sheriff's reimbursements for Franklin Grove and Ashton. Those are both new for December. I think we started collecting those in April of 2024, and then also a higher amount for the renegotiated fees for Paw Paw. So I guess any questions on kind of where we sit from the revenues and expenditure side of things?
Any questions? No.
The only other thing I'd like to point out is on the capital schedule, I had a formula error in the remaining balance, remaining budget. We kind of identified it after the financials were posted to onboard. We've corrected the formula, so it'll be correct next year, but it's only the total remaining budget amount that is incorrect. Last thing, kind of outside the financials is Wipfli is going to be on site in February to do our financial statement audit. So don't be surprised if you potentially get an email from them or a call. They like to do random questioning between different people, board members. They'll do certain people every year. They might have requests for department heads and whatnot, but they're going to be on site in February. So just want to make sure that we're getting them what they need so they can get out.
Okay. Thank you, Reed. Thank you, Paul. We move on. Treasurer's quarterly financial report will be in March. Insurance Committee and Greco reports. My understanding, the chairman's going to appoint somebody for that. Do you have something, Jeremy?
With Gredco?
Yes.
At the moment, no Gredco reports. We are in the process, the chairman's in the process of appointing a board member to that position.
Okay. Thank you. Administrator report. You're back.
Just quickly, a couple updates that I updated the other committees on. We're still in the process with the broadband breakthrough program and the Illinois Broadband Group, as they have over $1 billion that was, for broadband expansion funds throughout the state of Illinois. Lee County was identified as one of actually the top priority county in the state of Illinois, with 8,300 households that are considered underserved or unserved. So when you look at the state list, we are number one. So that's a good and bad thing. That means that we have a lot of underserved or unserved households within the county. But that also is a great thing, because that means we're primed to be able to bring in these funds throughout the county, working with these ISPs that we have been working with, as we're looking at making sure that there's broadband infrastructure throughout the county and folks are served and online. So right now, the state of Illinois has a potential schedule of what they're calling waves. Wave 1 will be towards the end of this month, that they have applications and plans that will be set into for proposals from internet service providers on how they're going to essentially attack the most hard served or underserved households throughout the state. I've been working with one ISP in particular on this. There's 4 that we've been working with, but some of the other ones are going to be working on more, high densely populated areas, and a few of the others are working through more of our rural communities, which is our biggest impact and priority here. And then there's wave 2, which will be taking care of the rest, and then wave 3, which would be in the summer if necessary. They'll be continuing to work on other locations. So hopefully by spring, summer, we'll have some really great news on where this infrastructure is going to lie, the areas that are going to be impacted, and hopefully get some great service. So very exciting news. The next topic is we are going to be submitting our RAISE planning grant at the end of this month, due January 30th, I do believe. It's for a little over $1 million, about $1.5 million. And that's going to, our 4th iteration of the planning grant from the city of Dixon, multi-use trail path to Sauk Valley Community College. Last year, we had a great meeting with the feds on our application. We're able to go through some merit criteria and things that we need to improve on. We're heavily partnering with Sauk Valley Community College in Rowe. There is their director for planning. And he's been fantastic in providing extra, more data and things that we did not have previously or access to. So that's really exciting, and hopefully we have good results from that. Other than that, just HR coordinator updates. We internally are had started to review over 100 candidates as of January 10th. And we have our small hiring committee that I'll be bringing together here in the near future to start the interview process of first wave candidates. So pretty excited about that. The county, again, is going to take its time, make sure that the candidates are the right fit, and it's somebody, this person would be who we want, and will continue to be engaged and invest in us as we invest in them. So thank you.
Thank you. We have a quarterly report for ARPA. We have no report. Okay.
So, sorry.
Go ahead. Wow.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I don't think we were supposed to have one in January. Maybe we were, but
It says January, April,
December.
July, and
Yeah.
October. So
We need to update that. So
Okay.
ARPA reached out to us, myself, Jim, Mr. Sheeline, and the treasurer's office as, those programs have started to close down. This is our last year. So we decided that it wasn't necessary for them to be here
Okay.
unless there was something of importance. So it's just going to be a standing thing on our agenda, on the finance committee agenda. if we need them.
Okay,
And they can do a quarterly report if you'd like, but I think at this point, almost all of that money that is still there is in the capital bucket. And I would like to suggest maybe to even Tom, who's here, that we go ahead and any of that old LEC that he's remodeling for the maintenance department, get those costs over to Sarah and Patty, and they will process it through, and then we can basically fund that through with that money and be done. But even if we spend it all here in the next week, the administrative side of it still has to do federal reports through actually April of 2027. So you can spend it all the way through to 2026, but you still have to do your last report in April of 2027. So even if we spend it all, they're still going to have to do reporting and such, and they can come when you need them.
okay, great, thank you. There is no Joseph Meyer resolution, monthly sheriff's office report. Hopefully you read that. Sheriff, do you want to comment on anything?
No, it's pretty much self-explanatory. The one thing I did mention that mentioned in Public Safety Committee that we are finally reaping the benefit of a good contract with the Fraternal Order of Police. Before we were losing employees to other agencies. We just had a successful lateral transfer to our corrections division from a neighboring jurisdiction, unfortunately. And actually, we're going through the process. We have an open patrol deputy spot, and we have an interested lateral that we're going through the background investigation on now. So that's going to be a big cost savings for us, as far as overtime, training, so that we can actually pull somebody in and they can really hit the ground running. So thank you.
That's great news. We're stealing other employees instead of being stolen from. But thank you for that. Okay, any unfinished business?
Yeah.
What? Oh. New business. We have the Teamsters Local 722, the clerk treasurer collective bargaining agreement. We have to place on file, move along to exec, to the full board. So I'd entertain a motion to do that. Moved by Kitson, second by Naylor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No executive session. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Naylor moves. Book seconds. All in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Have your head examined. Thank you. That's how you run a meeting, Sheeline.
Yeah, but I remember our conversation was that you said 8 minutes. I remember 8 minutes and it's 18. Anyway, good job, Tim. Appreciate it. Thanks for covering for me.
Thank you.